for Indiana, their expectation level has been ratcheted up. I think the spotlight has been ratcheted up because of what's happening with football. This is a basketball school. Get yourselves organized. John, we're going to say our overreaction. They're not going to win the Big Ten. What do you think?
I don't think that's an overreaction at the moment. This has kind of been their MO. They tease us, right? They tease us. We love them. And then they do something wild. And then we're like, wait, maybe they're not that good. Like, for instance, they trailed Eastern Illinois at half. Then they go on a 36-5 run and win by 30. They went by 30 at a half. So that's just been the MO. I saw kind of a viral clip that's going on. If you guys see where Balo was jogging back on the fast break with kind of lack of sense of urgency. So there's some little things that concern me with Indiana. And they also have an NBA coach. Being as I played in the NBA for 9 years, I'm gonna be real with you. NBA coaches are just a lot more chill. They got a lot more money, and they're just a lot more chill than college coaches. I'm just gonna be real with you. So, I don't know if the sense of urgency is there, even from a coaching perspective, as far as like, we need to turn this thing around. On top of that, they have a lack of marquee matchups. I think South Carolina, who just lost to North Florida, and then they don't play anybody till Rutgers in January. So we're not even going to know what this team is until it's
Hey,
almost
Rob
2 days.
takes offense at just saying Louisville is nothing right now. It doesn't
Yeah,
roster
I'm on a Louisville bandwagon. So
They are in Atlantis, though. They are in Atlantis.
Yeah, so, but yeah, Indiana teases us all the time, and they're doing it now still, man, just kind of playing with us, and we don't know where we're going to get until, I guess, Rutgers in January, and Rutgers kind of struggling that as well without Ace Bailey. So we'll see. Definitely not overreaction, though. They don't look like Big Ten champions at all.
Whoever said they were a Big Ten champion favorite?
I feel like
me.
I did. Didn't someone say they were the most talented roster in the Big Ten? Who said that?
My bad.
On TV said that.
My bad.
All right, Ed, give us your take on them. What do you think?
I like Indiana. I mean, but you know what though? Ohio State is good. I'm not sure if y'all have gotten a chance to watch them. They are legit. They got this Steph Curry cat coming off the bench who just doesn't miss. I think he's like 7 for 8 on the year from 3, and he shoots the ball from like 30 feet. It's kind of insane. Probably the most underrated backcourt in the country with Ohio State. Illinois is also good. They have a couple guys who are going to probably play pro NBA in Yaka Jonas and Will Riley. Indiana's going to be up there as well. Man, it's crazy that I'm even saying this, but Penn State doesn't look bad. I mean, there's going to be a lot of teams being up there, but when it comes to Indiana, I trust their roster. Trey Galloway coming in as 6-man. He changes the tempo. He changes the team. I think it's going to come down to Miles Rice. If he can really settle in and get his game to another level, that's going to change the entire team. Mackenzie Mbako has gotten better. Malik Renew has gotten better. I think both those guys have really benefited from an actual backcourt. Indiana last year, they didn't have a backcourt. They played a small forward as their point guard for a majority of the year, and they still won 19 games. And the fact that they have a multitude of guards now, Big Ten level guards now, it just makes life for Mbako and Renew that much easier. But Balo, yeah, I mean, you're talking about Khalil Ware last year came into Indiana with the what will you say, with the reputation of not having a high motor. But Khalil Ware was also young, right? He came in as a true sophomore. Balo was in his 6th year, right? He's coming from successful programs. He also doesn't have a high motor. I don't think you're going to change him that much. So he's going to really have to deal with that. Whether it's playing Malik Renew more at the 5, I think that's still a really good lineup with him at the 5 and Mbako at the 4. Even Luke Goody coming in at the 3, and they have. I would take their roster over anybody else's in the league. It's just going to come down to, can you figure it out, and can you figure it out in time to actually make a run for the Big Ten championship.
CJ or John, do you agree with that? Do you think their rosters is comparable or better to anybody else in the Big Ten?
I do. I think that the league is wide open. I mean, I couldn't make an argument for 6, 7 different teams. You didn't even mention Oregon, who I think is look solid
Oregon's
so far.
roster's nice too with Jackson. Yeah, I'm with you there.
They got some.
Keep forgetting they're in the league. I'm sorry.
It's,
I know,
it's hard. It goes all over. Goes all over the country.
Right.
But the thing with Indiana, like I watched the maybe first 10 minutes of the game the other night, and I didn't feel a sense of urgency on the defensive end. I think that Mike Woodson's teams haven't really guarded that well. Talking about Purdue and going back to last season, Lance Jones was such a huge presence for them because it gave them the secondary handling. And kind of going back to that Purdue conversation, let's have that for Indiana. Like Carlisle was supposed to be that guy coming in, and he had his moments at Stanford last year, but he was really, really inconsistent. And he's 2 of 11 from the field so far. So they got to get better play out of him. But also, I just want to see like more sense of urgency on the defensive end. I saw a lot of sloppiness in that 10-minute stretch. But also, like John, I think we throw it to you. How hard is it maybe to get up for a couple of those games when you know some big boys are coming down the road to play those schools you've never heard of? My man's never even lives in Illinois, is from Illinois. He doesn't even know where the hell these schools are. So
Coach Williams he would say this. He said, look, you guys want to, not pay attention and think you're going to roll over his team. Some kid you don't even know his name is going to bust your ass tonight. So that's kind of how he got after us. Like, and then surely after the game, somebody would have 20. He'd look at you and say, hey, look, what did I tell you? Do you know who that is? Like, he just gave you 20. So that's also part of being a good team, man, being ready. In my 2 years where we were pretty high ranked, we got knocked off pretty early. And I 100% it was just complacency. We were feeling ourselves, and that's what happens. But we didn't have NIL money, so I don't know, man. Yeah. My guy Balo looked like he eating good, man. He got that bread, like, you know what I'm saying?
He's chilling right now, bro.
He's chilling, like, he chill, like, he understand the game. Like, I don't think he, it's not necessarily he's not going to be a draft pick, man. But he's probably setting himself and his family up pretty well, and he gets to play in Indiana, which is a hoop heaven. He's living good. Like his own apartment. I mean, these kids is going over it. I follow a couple college kids. They going to Turks and Caicos. I mean, it's insane.